Hi guys, this is a weird video. I don't even know how to start it or anything. But I might have corona, but might not, because I don't have the symptoms that is like dangerous symptoms. Wait, I'm just like, yes, I have some shortage of breath and I have some symptoms that are stated that people with corona do have, but not hard. I'm not really sick, I'm not very sick, I can manage, but I have a lot of weird, super weird symptoms that a lot of people around me also do have. So I feel like there's a lot of symptoms that at least people in Sweden do not talk about, that is to me very weird and very vague and very hard to like understand or whatever. It's a lot of them, and I'm gonna try to explain them to you. Right now, sitting here talking to you, I am very dizzy. I've been like this for 1.5 weeks, and I'm gonna tell you everything about it after this. I'm also gonna cut in a few parts from a video I was making for Leona's 10-month update, because that was the day that I felt like, okay, this might actually be corona. Because that was the day I actually went into the ER too, just to be safe. Not that I was about to die or anything, just because I talked to the people and they said, come in just so we're sure to see that your blood is getting the oxygen it needs and everything. Because I had a really hard day with breathing and out of breathness and everything. I'm gonna cut in a little bit about that here. Hi. This is Leona's 10-month day. I'm not feeling well. And this entire week has been weird to me. I've had a week and I had someone, it feels like someone squeezed my heart and everything. And it felt like my throat was like swelling up from the inside, like I had a very hard time getting the air down. For today I don't feel much of the pain in my body just yet. I have the sore throat and I feel like I get out of breath all the time, and I get a lot of phlegm right now today. And I'm gonna be honest, I'm actually a little bit worried, a little bit scared even to go that far, because I have always said I have these and these symptoms, but it's not corona. I have this and this, it's not corona. When I feel how out of breath I get by standing up and everything and doing stuff, and how out of breath I get by really talking to you right now, and that I feel that it's like I can't breathe, but it hurts a little bit in my chest when I do that, and I feel like I don't get much air, and like the phlegm and the shortage of breath came so fast, so I'm actually a little bit worried. So yeah, that day I went into the ER. It felt better in the afternoon, but they still told me to check because I had so many heart changes or whatever. I had, I don't know what you call it, but my heart skipped a beat and it ran, and I had high pulse, and I had a lot of phlegm and I couldn't breathe and everything like that. And they checked my blood, and it looked good. The blood got enough oxygen and everything. So that is what they wanted to look. They don't check if you have corona or not. If you're not so sick you have to be hospitalized. So that is why I can't tell you if I have it or not. And I've always been the person, when I felt anything lately, that said, it's not corona, but I'm feeling like this. And this, I'm not saying that I have corona, because I can't say that, because I don't have the normal symptoms that other people do, but I have symptoms that people around me do have. And if this is not corona, I don't know what it is. It's a lot of weird symptoms, and I just want to talk about them, because I feel like people are only talking about the people getting super duper mega sick and die or can't breathe or the usual things that people have, but there are a lot of people that have a lot of different stuff that nobody's talking about. I just read an article about a woman being sick for almost 50 days in similar symptoms as the ones I have and a lot of people around me has. So I felt like people need to talk about that you can actually be sick without knowing. Some people have no symptoms, but some actually do have very weird ones. And once again, I don't know. I just might feel weird right now. This might not be corona, but what else can it be? I don't know. Something is it, so maybe it's a very mild form, or maybe it's not a corona, maybe it's something else. I don't know. But I'm gonna tell you more about my very weird symptoms. This angle is just... I'm just ugly right now. I'm sorry to say it, but I am. Especially beside this beauty. I'm just gonna get the notes. I have been taking notes of things going on, just because I knew I have some people in my surroundings that are feeling weird, and I suddenly started to feel weird last week, like 1.5 weeks ago, and I thought, well, I might as well write it down because this is weird. It started out one night when I was lying down with... No, it actually started that day. I felt like when I was laying down with her or putting her to rest or anything, my heart was starting to beat really fast and skip some beats and everything. And it sometimes happens to me, but not that much. So it felt really... it was not a nice feeling. It was beating very fast and it was slowing down. It felt like it was running in my chest almost, and that was crazy. It was happening during the daytime. I didn't think much of it, just that it was a bit scary and weird. And then I felt during the day, the same day, that someone was hugging my heart, like someone was hugging it hard around it. And I was like, what is happening? I thought it was so weird, and I told Tobias, someone is hugging my heart, but I guess it's probably nothing, but it's weird. That night when we were putting Leona to sleep, I had been lying there beside her, not doing much. Tobias was humming and everything. I was just laying there for like 45 minutes, and I felt like my heart is pounding so fast. So I took my pulse, and it was close to 100 in resting pulse, which is... Close to 100 in resting, which is very high when you have been lying down for 45 minutes. I have close to 60 normally. So that was weird. So I talked to some people, and they said they had had the same thing for over 2 weeks, and it was very, very hard for them. And right now I'm very out of breath, just because I went to pick her up, but more about that later. So that night I had some more heart poundings and everything. Oh shit, I got dizzy. The next day, I got so dizzy by that. It's so sick. The next day, I was a little bit, I had the same thing, not as much. I had some hugging around the heart, and I had a little bit of the heart runs in my body, but not as much. And the third day I didn't feel anything, so I was like, okay, there was nothing. Good, it wasn't anything. But then I think there was that night or the night after, I felt like my inside of my throat was swelling up. Like it was very tight to breathe. Not that I didn't get the air down, but it just felt like it was tight in my throat. And it was very scary. I had a lot of phlegm also, and some dry cough, like it was some dust in my throat, it felt like. That morning I woke up, felt better again, and then I don't really have, I don't know which days what happened. So now I'm just gonna talk symptoms. So some days I felt a little better, some days I had more heart runs, and some days I had more like someone was hugging my heart. And then I got a really sore throat one night. I have also had, I have not have had a fever at all, no fever, but I felt like I had fever. My body has been aching totally, every limb, every finger, muscle, every muscle in my arms, everything has been hurting. It has been burning behind my eyes, which it does for me when I have a fever. And my head has been having the weirdest, worst headache, like it was about to explode. It's not like migraines, but it almost as painful as migraines, but it's more felt more to me like my head was going to like swell and burst out of itself. Extreme hot flashes, and I'm not menopausal, just extreme hot flashes. I've been having chills and freezing without having fever. I've been having heartburns, pain in my upper back here. I've been a little numb around my mouth. I have had tummy pain. I have had nausea. I've been very, very tired. One day I was so dizzy I couldn't stand or sit up. I was lying on the floor almost all day with Leona, and that was a little bit scary. But that is kind of the things I have been feeling right now. But things are changing every day. Every day is like what I'm gonna wake up with today. Last night my throat was hurting again, really deep down. Not really much. It didn't hurt like, oh my god, I have like open wounds in my throat. Not like that, but it's like it's tender and very deep down. Also had a lot of phlegm. Before I fell asleep, yesterday was crazy. I was lying in bed watching some YouTube, which I do. Just peaceful. Started to get tired, and from nowhere my heart started to just race, and then my pulse was really, really high, and I felt like I could breathe. It wasn't hard to breathe at all, but it felt like the air was very, very thin coming down to my lungs, and that was scary. So I'm like, I'm gonna turn everything off now, and I'm gonna sleep, and I'm gonna wake up and feel better. I'm not gonna die. So I fell asleep. I felt a little better. I still was, it's so easy for my heart to start racing, and it's not anxiety. I know that healthcare always wants to go to anxiety, but me, who has lived with anxiety for my entire life, knows the difference of anxiety and physical weirdness, and this is physical weirdness, not psychological. That is where I am today. I still get dizzy for everything. I don't have the energy to sit and, like, this takes a lot of energy to me, so I don't have the energy to sit and edit a lot or record a lot or whatever, and I most days just block out the whole doors and just lay on the floor and play with Leona so she can't get out of the room, because I can't chase her all the time. So it's a weird time. And as I said, I can't tell you that it's corona because I am not a health professional. I don't have the tests to take, but I have no clue what else it could be. So if you know that is the symptoms of this, all those crazy symptoms is the symptom of this, let me know. Otherwise, I actually do think that I have a mild case of corona. I don't have a corona that I need to go into the ER or anything. Let me know if you have any weird symptoms that you're not used to, because some people don't even get symptoms from corona. So some people get a lot of crazy stuff. Some only get by the book, like the symptoms that is in the book about corona. So it's a very sneaky sickness, I feel like. I don't know. Have you felt any weird things lately that you think could have been corona? Or are you recognizing yourself in what I am talking about? Or do you know anyone who's feeling like me? Or do you have anyone being sick? And how are things showing for them? Because I am at a loss here. I don't like the sickness because it's so unclear, everything. I mean, now I feel out of breath. Not like but like I feel, I need to stop talking. So that was all I had to say today, and I hope I feel better soon. I might not look like I feel bad, but it's constantly right now spinning. Not spinning, but it's like everything is like this, and I just want to lay down, to be completely honest with you. It's hard when you're not sick for real. It's good I'm not sick for real, like have a high fever and everything, because I wouldn't like that. But it's hard when it's so vague in a way, because sometimes I feel like, am I just making stuff up in my head? But I know I'm not. So I'm not. If you think I am, I'm not. But you get freaked out in your head when things are not going, like one day you feel better, the next day you're very worse, one morning you feel better, at night you're worse. It's new symptoms all the time. I don't know. But thank you for watching. Let me know if you really recognize anything of this, and yeah, it's nice to talk about. But if I don't post a lot of reactions and stuff, it's because I just right now can't sit by the computer, and the things I'm editing is the things I can edit on my phone right now when I'm lying resting or something. But love you, take care. I hope all of you are okay from this crazy thing. I hope you're not affected by it, and if you are affected, and that you get a mild version of it, because this is doable even though it's crazy and scary, and I don't even know if I've grown up. Bye.